congrats to AK and his group. Tough, hard-fought game, and I thought both teams it was kind of a slugfest for about the last 23 or 24 minutes. We started the game on a run. They responded with the run of their own. I thought we did a nice job of taking care of the basketball. That's one thing that you can't do against UAB with their length and their athleticism. When you have high turnovers, you kind of have indefensible defensive possessions. They go score the ball. They dunk it. And we were able to take care of the ball quite well. When they were out loose in transition, it was usually a few of our turnovers. We only had 8. But some errant shots, shot selection. But again, a tough battle. I thought for them, Javion Davis was terrific. He was a load, whether we were in zone or man. We were in foul trouble with our posts. But I thought Josh did a nice job coming in there as well. Gave us a boost. Just gave us a chance to get easy twos. You know, when nights where you're not shooting it well, you've got to generate some points at the rim. And that was kind of the difference in the game. We were 4 for 21 for 3. They were 1 for 11. They made 13 free throws. We made 7. 50% from the free throw line is not very good, bad. But, again, we gave ourselves a chance to win the game just with some grit and some fight and some toughness. But it's hard to win with 57. So we just got to – nights that we're not shooting the ball well, we still got to be able to find ways to generate buckets.
Last play of the game on the inbound. What was was that the look that y'all were looking for in that situation?
No.
Did you all have to change the play after the UAB timeout in that scenario, or did y'all stick with what y'all had the first time out?
We made an adjustment to we were looking at a wrinkle out of a play that we already had in. Obviously, they were looking at our alignment, then called timeout. We stuck with the same alignment. We're talking about let's look at this on the play.
You mentioned the shot selection in the opening statement. It seemed like both teams were taking some really tough long twos at time.
Yep.
How does that change the dynamic of the game when you've really got to focus on rebounding in those situations?
Yeah, it's both teams just have good athletes and big posts, so it's not easy to generate scoring opportunities. You think about some of the guys on our squad. This one right next to me, Jacob Johnson, are 2 really good defenders, and you've got guys like Josh and Jared and Chris that are at the rim, and they're fairly similar. You think about some of the guys on the perimeter that have some size and grit and toughness and, kind of built like football players, and then you get to the rim and there's size there. So both teams kind of forced each other into tough shots, and both teams were trying to get out and run because it's hard to score against either team's set defense. So you got to find a way to get easies. And, both teams did a pretty good job. You think about fast break points, they ended up with 10. We had 0. And, that's a big difference in the game.
Elias King starting off pretty slow early, but y'all were able to, come together as a team and score just individually with a bunch of different players. But towards the second half, it slowed down a little bit. So is there a defensive adjustment that UAB might have made to slow your kind of team offense?
Their 1-3-1 is it's going to do one of 2 things. Generally, it is kind of their press that generates turnovers. And then when you don't turn it over, it hurts your ability to run a bunch of sets because it eats the shot clock up. You want to be smart with a basketball or else they go score it. So you can't turn it over. But as you're not turning it over, the shot clock's ticking. You get them out of the 1-3-1, whether they're going over into a man or a 2-3 zone during the possession, and you look up and there's 10 seconds on the shot clock. So it can stifle your offensive flow, your offensive rhythm. And that's when teams can get frustrated and take bad shots. So whether you're turning it over or taking bad shots, they kind of got you playing the way you want, with the way they want you to play. And I thought our turnovers were low, and for the most part, we took good shots. But if you're watching, every time we took a bad shot, it felt like they went and scored. When we turned it over, they went and scored. And so it keeps you having to be really alert all night long. And again, I thought for the most part we did. I mean, I would imagine I don't think I remember seeing them score lower than that. 58 being a season low. So we guarded well, had good ball care, and came down to one possession.
Nick, you guys held Eric Gaines to 7 shot attempts. How much of today's game plan for you guys was about limiting him, and how does limiting him affect what they want to do?
He's just different. You know, he's got exceptional athleticism. He's extremely quick, and you just have to bottle him up with multiple guys. They've got several really good one-on-one players. Vasquez is a really good one-on-one player. Really kept them in the game. I believe it was the Maryland game. They went to him about 3 or 4 times in a row, one-on-one. So Gaines he's tough. You know, he's hard to handle. And I just thought we did a really good job of helping each other. You know, his 4 for 7 and his 3 misses were threes. I mean, I felt like all 4 of the makes were dunks. And if you're not really on point, he is so quick that he's going to be at the rim all night. And I thought we did a nice job. It's some guys getting 10 and 4 that had an exceptional night. You got some guys like that they just have a knack for scoring.
Justin, you guys had a season low in free throw attempts tonight. What was different about tonight for you guys getting to the line than it was through the first 4 games? You know, you guys shot 96 free throws the first 4 games. You come in tonight, only shoot 14.
Like Coach said, tonight was just one of those games where we got in the paint, but we didn't finish how we wanted to. So I don't think our aggressive state went down or anything like that. It all came down to just being tough around the bucket. You know, the referees let some calls go on their end and our end, so they just let us play. So we just gotta finish better, be more aggressive with our drives, play off 2 feet. So I don't think this game just came down to us not being aggressive. You know what I'm saying? Getting in the paint and getting foul calls. That's all.
Piggyback on that a little bit. It goes back to what I was saying about the 1-3-1. You know, they play it a lot, and so you have more possessions playing them that it's late clock, and they switch from a 1-3-1 over to a 2-3 zone as well. And so it's not as easy to generate downhill drives, fouls, out in transition fouls getting to the rim.
Josh, you were able to pick up some offensive rebounds, particularly in the second half, and generate some second chance points. What was the key to picking up the rebounds late in the game and get y'all a little bit closer in that department?
Well, we spoke before the game, and a big key was rebounding. We knew we were playing big, strong people too. We knew it was going to come down to skill and not just based off being bigger and stronger. And it was really just about who wanted it more. You know, we need to rebound the ball if we want to win. In the beginning, we were kind of fumbling the ball quite a bit, so we had to, make sure we just grab those balls and, go up.
And Coach, I know y'all tonight playing a former Conference USA opponent. Now UAB's moved to the American. We know you guys are in a position to win Conference USA this year, and how do you put yourselves in that position, especially after a really hard-fought loss tonight?
Yeah, it's still early. I mean, we're playing championship-level teams in their respective leagues. And so I told the team after, the game in the locker room that, we got 2 one-possession losses, a 2-point loss to Western and a 1-point loss here tonight. And you got to find a way to win those games. Playing lesser opponents that can't expose your weaknesses isn't that good for you, in my opinion, in November. You're trying to figure out how to win these kind of games in your non-conference play. so that when your season is on the line, the chance to get to the NCAA tournament is on the line, you've been in these moments. And so far, we've been had an overtime win against Stephen F. Austin, a 2-point loss to Western, and here again tonight. It's good for our team. Obviously, it doesn't feel good right now, but in the long run, it'll be good for us.
Coach, you had a 15-2 lead in the first 5-10 minutes, and then they started finding their way into the game a little bit more. What did UAB kind of do to disrupt that at that point?
For whatever reason, and you'd have to ask Coach Kennedy why. They have so far this year had some slow starts. The other night against Alcorn State, they were behind 11-0 and 23-7, and came back and won. Against Bradley, they were behind 40-21 at halftime. Went on a 38-8 run, and then it still ended up losing the game by 2. So far, I'm sure it's maddening for him, but they go on. That's what we told our team, that there's going to be some big runs in the game because that's kind of their MO. And so you can't over-celebrate when you're up 10, and don't hang your head if you get down 10, because it's going to be big runs in the game.
Coach, going back to you talking about those close losses, I know you guys have lost by a total of only 3 points this whole season. So, what do you guys go to the lab and change after this game to, help yourselves in close games?
It's hard to win. We're guarding really well. We're really guarding. I mean, we gave up 57 to Northern Kentucky, 54 in regulation to Stephen F. Austin, 66 to Western Carolina, and 58 here tonight. And that's exceptional, against teams that can really score the ball. We've got to find ways to generate more. You got to find ways to generate points. Obviously, you want to be able to shoot it better from 3. You want to be able to shoot it better from the free throw line. But finding easy twos, whether it's through post moves, offensive rebound putbacks, driving layups that get you to the free throw line, that result in 2-point baskets. The combination of those each need to get a little bit better. It's not just let's just shoot threes better and we'll win games, or let's just shoot better from the free throw line. That does sting. I will say that the free throw line. I mean the Western game and then this one, we were not good at the free throw line. But the good thing has been our team doesn't guard based on whether or not we're scoring. There's a lot of teams that they play hard and they guard hard when the fun stuff is happening. The ball's going through the hoop and they play with more energy. Our guys are playing hard and guarding hard. Once we get in a better flow, a better rhythm, and are scoring better, if we keep guarding like this, this group's going to have a lot of success.
Josh, you've been adjusting to a new team, a new offense, through the first 5 games. How have you been able to find a way to get your shots in the offense, to get some of those easy twos like we were talking about with Coach earlier?
I feel like it's just, the team just trusting me, with Cam being out, that takes a lot away of a lot of shots, and, I think everyone's just trying to step up, trying to find their role, and I feel like, I just give the credit to my team for trying to, give me the ball when I'm hot and just playing off me. That's really it.
Nick Ozell came in tonight, 3 assists, 3 blocks. How much of an advantage does it give you to have somebody that big with that good a vision that can handle the ball?
That's a great point, Calvin. He's just different. He's got great size at 6'7", and these guys can tell you he can really pass it, plays at his own pace, never looks like he's sped up or out of control. He's starting to get in game shape. I think I said in here the last time he missed 3 weeks with a concussion, and so he played 14 minutes again tonight. As we continue to go forward, I can envision his minutes continuing to go up because he can do so many different things out on the court. He's big in our zones. He can play multiple spots in it. We need to continue developing depth, not just through him but others. You look at Jacob Johnson's minutes at 37, Porter at 37. JB at 31 would have been higher had it not had some foul trouble there for a little while. So, we got to keep developing some depth so that we don't run all the tread off the tires for some of these guys. This weekend's going to be tough. 3 games in 3 days. You don't want to have to play guys 37, 38 minutes night after night. Thank y'all. Appreciate it.
Thank you.